$19,000 in one day. That is crazy, and it just shows the power of the stock market and the ability and the opportunity it gives you if you have a strategy, if you have the knowledge to make things happen. But at the forefront here, I want to get this out of the way. I am not trying to imply that this member, Dan is his name, that Dan, oh yeah, he just signed up last week and he's making $19,000. No. Dan has been around since almost the start. I started the site in 2013. And he wasn't quite at the very beginning, but he's been around for several years. So this is not a situation where Dan signed up last week and he's using my magical system and he's using my hot stock picks. Nothing like that. What you see here and what's going on behind the scenes is dedication, effort, hard work, and all the kind of unpopular things to say that people don't really want to do. But it is worthwhile, and this is the end result of where it can get you, and that's one of the issues that I want to talk about here, is just to offer up some motivation. Now, there's many other little issues and topics that I want to tackle too, that this will help open your eyes to, hopefully, and also I'm going to try to answer some questions that I get. So like I said, I'm going to use this as a way to talk about several different topics around the market and also answer some common questions that I get from kind of the claytrader.com perspective. But the first thing I want to point out is that this all happened on ticker symbol BYND, which is significant because that's a stock that's up over $100. And for many traders, I say, well, I can't afford to trade that. My account's not big enough. Oh, it's too expensive. And that's the powerful thing about how Dan operated within the stock market itself. And one of the branches of the stock market is the options market. Now, don't go freaking out. I know options, some people make them sound way more complicated than what they are because they want to, I guess, sound smart. But I mean, Dan, he went through the training and stuff like that, and I promise I can make that stuff simplified and just make all that lingo a lot more easier. But my point is that when you learn options, when you consider the options, market, you can get involved with stocks such as BYND that are up over $100. And most people, especially when you're new and just getting started, they see the numbers, and rightfully so. It's a logical thought to have. Is, I can't afford that. So that's one of the first topics, is this was all being done with options trading, which allow you to get involved with stocks that are much higher because you're not actually buying the stock itself. Now, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of options here, but just understand that. Dan was getting involved on a stock that really anybody can get involved with. Now, if you have a $10 account, that's not going to be quite big enough, but you do not need some sort of multiple $1,000 account to get involved with stocks over 100. And then the other thing I want to set up with some context is I'm going to take you to and show you a clip. Part of, and this helps kind of answer one of the questions I get all the time, is, hey, Clay, I know you offer this training program, coaching program. How does that work? What's included? And there's a bunch of classes, but just the one thing that is included is a weekly live coaching session, as I like to see it. So what I'm going to show you here on the screen is a snippet from a live coaching session that I did the night before this trade actually happened. So to offer context again, on Tuesday night, I did this webinar, which you're about to see, just like a minute clip from it. And then the next day is when Dan used these areas, that I talked about in the video to do quite well. And you're going to see why I did quite well. So after that video, then I'm going to go right to my desktop and I'm going to walk you through it. And then I'll meet you back here. But that's all perspective, right? If you're some sort of big picture investor, then, well, Clay, look at that 50 period. It's so beautifully uptrending. That's true. But for me, from my perspective, the way I'm looking at it, this thing is in a downtrend right now. And there is a whole lot of nervous people out there. And those nervous people, I think, they're going to lose their edge at 115. But I don't know. I have a really bad feeling that this thing, well, the other side of things would be if it does gap down below and open up below 115, then you can always play the back test. So if it opens up right here, I can see it coming up here and then getting rejected back downwards. But I'd rather do kind of the just hammer that bid. If it looks like it's going to get down through there, hammer the bid. But we'll have to see what happens with it. But I wanted to share that setup with you because I saw it and I thought, wow, this has got some opportunity on it tomorrow. It's bullish on the daily. I disagree. I don't think it's bullish on the daily right now. On the daily, I believe this is a very bearish chart right now. Now, it might only remain bearish for the next couple of days, but I think this is a very bearish chart as of right now. That's my opinion. All right, welcome to my desktop here. Now, the number here, as you just heard me talk about going into the new day. So again, that video that you saw was from a Tuesday night, and then the very next day, going into that Wednesday, 115 was the key level marked out there by that green line. And this is what myself and many others used as a reference point to build some trade plans around. Now, I'm not saying that Dan played it exactly as I'm going to illustrate here. There's many ways you can approach it, but the point here is that everybody was watching that 115 mark, and everybody was well aware that, that level was a significant area. That level carried importance with it, and that there certainly could be some potentially profitable trade plans built around that area at 115. And as you're going to see, the market did gap down below that 115 mark. And then from there, you'll see how it all played out. So the first candle, which shows the first 15 minutes of the day right there. Again, if you're not familiar with candlesticks, the price opened up right there. So after the price opened up, the price actually spent essentially the first 15 minutes going up and up and up. And look right where it got rejected. Now, technically speaking, it hit $115.24. So did it get rejected at 115 exactly? No, but hopefully you're willing to cut a little slack and say, you know what, on a stock that this volatile, within 24 cents, that's pretty solid. But like I said, gap down. So that's where the whole idea of a back test came into play. Went up there, hit the 115 mark. And you can see right there, once again, the high of that candle got right up there just shy of 115. So basically 2 times, got right up around that area. And then from that point, and I'll speed things up, you can see that the price ultimately dropped quite significantly on the day. And in fact, went down as low as that area right there at basically, let's just call it 106. So from 115 down to 106, and that's a $9 move. Not too bad. $9 in one day. And here's the part where Dan could have actually made more than the $19,000 because he decided to hold a portion of his position. So he decided to hold some of his options. And you can see the next day, which is represented by this, there was actually a gap up. So he was looking for it to potentially go down even more. It did not. So like I said, now this is all hindsight, and I'm not saying, I'd say Dan played it right. I mean, at that point, when you're up that much, why not just hang on to something and just see how it works out? In this case, it just didn't work out for him. The price ultimately gapped up, went against him. So that what makes this all the more crazy is that $19,000 could have been even bigger had this gap down, or just at least not gapped, so much against him. But it is what it is. He still walked away with $19,000, but that's how it worked out. You saw everything being talked about. Obviously, I was very bearish going into the next day, and there's a lot of downwards pressure. And yeah, the downwards pressure, without doubt, showed up quite a bit. But that is just one little example there of the power of knowledge and investing in yourself to learn. So we'll go back to me now at the desk. $115. That was the magical number, and the power of charts, the power of technical analysis, which is the other topic that I want to just really drive home. They're a tool that needs to be learned. Are they perfect? No, nothing is perfect. Nothing can predict the future other than inside information, but I don't want you to go to jail. So I'm not going to say go get inside information. But yeah, technical charts, amazing how that played out. 115, watch for the back test, and that is exactly what happened as you see there. And then the price went all the way down to where it was. And for me, to offer up context, I made $1,000 in 12 minutes. In fact, we'll put up a screenshot on the screen that from social media that I posted. But yeah, so for me, it was a great day. Now, of course, Dan makes me look silly with $19,000. But yeah, I'm happy. $1,000, 12 minutes. So there was a lot of other members that were trading that one too. But I mean, yeah, it was a beautiful setup. And it was all documented for those people that attended the coaching session. So if you are actually a member of the coaching program already, and you're not on the Tuesday night webinars, come on, let's go, get there. I'm telling you, there's some good stuff in there, and it'll really help you out. So that is how it all works. That's how Dan did it. He got the knowledge. He worked really hard. He had a strategy. And what really still motivates me as somebody that is quote unquote the coach or the teacher, whatever you want to call me, is that, like I said way back at the beginning of the video, Dan has been around not quite since 2013 as part of the program, but very close from then. And he he does very, very well. If you follow social media, you've seen other big days. But here's the thing that really motivates me about Dan, and it serves as a great lesson and hopefully motivation and inspiration, is not the amounts of money that he makes, but he's still showing up to these Tuesday night coaching sessions. He's one of these guys that he's pulling in big numbers, but he's still there, learning, sharpening, iron sharpens iron. He's staying on his A game. He's trying to get his A game that much better. And to me, that is really in my opinion, at least, the moral of the story here is you have somebody that's doing so well, yet They're still investing their time into learning and honing their skills and just kind of, keeping themselves, aware. It's like an athlete, right? You got to keep yourself conditioned. You got to keep running. You got to just make sure that your body stays in tune, your mind stays in tune. And that's what Dan's doing. So just remember that is you can never really get too good to just keep your skills, keep your axe sharpened and just keep on learning, or at least maintaining all the knowledge that you have. And I think that's, like you said, what Dan really serves up as the best example here. But yeah, that's how Dan made the $19,000. BYND. He used options. He used technical charts. He invested into himself. He invested in the program. He's still showing up like we just talked about. So that's how you do it. And anybody can do it. But again, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen within a week. It doesn't happen, within months. It's going to take time and effort, but it is possible. So hopefully I can offer you up some motivation. If you enjoyed this video, I do have a question for you though. If you enjoy kind of these, videos where I talk about more so members, because I don't know, I don't mind showing, talking about me, but at some points, maybe you find it interesting to see how other members are doing. So if you find that motivational, or if you like these kind of videos where I'm talking about other members' real life results, leave me down a comment in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts on that. I'm always curious if these videos, should I make more of them, or is this just kind of something no, but I don't know. In my mind, this was a very important one because of that lesson about somebody doing very well, yet still investing in themselves and investing in their time to keep that axe sharpened. So like I said, let me know down in the comment section. And then also just hit that like button. If you check out the channel, there's lots of other stuff. There's live trade videos and all that sort of good stuff. So check out the channel too. And if you want to subscribe, please do hit that subscribe button. And then also if you're interested in learning more about this program, the coaching sessions, all that what I was talking about, I'll put a link down below. But if you want, you can just go to claytrader.com/take control and learn more about that. Whatever you decide, I wish you all the best. Point here, remember, you can never get too good. You can never have too much success to want to keep on learning and keeping your axe nice and sharpened. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.